today is the first day we're moving into our new home. I'm so excited.
So today, Felicia Dukes and her family are moving into to my home. This is part of a collaborative project. They are moving in for a year. I've opened up my home to them to live in it for the year rent free. And between Felicia and myself and Alexandria House, which works with families that are in transition, we've come together to create this partnership.
Then once we finish with that, then I can take you to the storage. What time the storage closes?
Right there, yeah. So I can put the bed down and figure it out. Let me move this.
Felicia, we just had this amazing thing that happened, and I wanted to share it with you. A man by the name of Tony Talbert, he has a house, and it's over by the Baldwin Hills Mall.
Oh, okay.
And he came to visit, and he had this offer. And the offer is to have a family stay in his house for a year.
Man, whole year?
For $1 a month.
$1? Only $1?
And we talked for a while, and he asked if I thought there were any families. And actually, your family is one of the first ones that came to mind. So I wanted to run it by you and see if this sounds like something that would be of interest to you.
Of course. Of course.
And so I just wanted to see if you would be interested and if you would mind meeting with Tony so he can share a little bit more about what his thoughts are, any questions you might have.
No, I'm like just totally excited. I mean, just to even see my son just being with us again. My firstborn, I miss him so much. So if it's an opportunity for us to come together, I mean, it mean the world to me.
Alexandria's house is like for single women and like only women, like no men. And no, there's boys and kids, but it's kind of like an age limit, kind of. So, like, it will be like kind of odd, kind of, for like a 20-year-old to be around all these women and stuff.
I mean, it's pretty cold. Yeah, it was raining earlier a lot, really hard.
This one?
Yeah. No, the other one. That one.
There's no way you can get here closer. No one can, drive you. Is anybody coming this way?
Oh, hey, how you doing? I'm too tall for you.
It bothered me that I couldn't visit my mom at Alexandria's house often. I just knew I couldn't spend the night ever. I couldn't hang around for the whole day.
Is that Kiva?
Really?
This is it. Oh, is she running?
Running away all the time.
This is the new house. Look at it. Well, they have to bring the couches and stuff.
You got a nice painting.
Oh, here's the oh, really? I like it. It reminds me of a Viking too.
We're gonna be eating good here, definitely. We check out the kitchen.
There, yeah, get it together.
That's right.
You want something to eat?
Yeah.
We'll go around to
This is the market room.
this.
The last play.
Bedroom.
Yeah, to make it a bedroom. But see, it's cold. You see how cold it is, but it's, that's why I didn't make it into a room. But this is gonna be the relax. And this is his bathroom. Amari has a bathroom. Well, you and him. Yeah, this is you guys' bathroom here.
Backyard.
And then this is the laundry room. Yeah, this is, oh, that's the basement.
Basement.
Yeah.
This is some paranormal.
Yeah, see, that's why she has the blue, so she wanted the blue room and that was her little set. This is nice, huh?
It is nice.
All right, you got a nice little setup. You got a little closet space.
That's so cute.
You're gonna move that back.
That's your little bed.
That's why the door, I didn't even.
She not gonna be that small for long.
I know. Yeah, and that's the closet. It's long though. It tricks you right here. See? Oh my God, you why you going in the closet?
That is long.
Yeah, and it's the backyard.
You got a garage and everything.
I know.
Well, the classic way to dry your clothes and everything.
I know. Well, yeah, and that's a
Okay, Tony, so I wanted to introduce you to Felicia. This is Tony,
Hi, Felicia.
nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too.
and this is great to have a chance to talk about a possibility for you.
Awesome. Yeah, I've heard great things about you, so I'm looking forward to getting to know you a little bit. Now, your name is Felicia or Felicia? How do you pronounce your name?
Felicia, but most people say Felicia.
And but how do you say it?
Felicia.
All right, I'll call you Felicia then.
Oh, oh man.
All right, I'll call
I warned you.
Felicia.
I
I'm
know.
sorry. I'm a knucklehead. I tell you that up front. Judy thought it'd be a good idea for us to meet and see if this might be a good collaboration. So she told you a little bit about what we're up to here, or?
Just that you had a place and that was you wanted me to move in there for like about 1 year, and I was shocked about it.
What I told Tony is that you have done an amazing job with the program, have done everything that needs to be done to move on, but still needed a little bit more time. Housing is so difficult right now, and I'm not sure everyone realizes how hard it is and how hard people are working, but how difficult and challenging it is to make that next step.
Well, when my mom told me about Tony's offer, I felt kind of nervous but happy at the same time, because I was going to somebody's house that we're going to be staying for a year, but I didn't really know Tony.
When I heard about Tony, the offer for that $1 a month, I said, God, there is real angels, because to me, that's what he have to be. And I was just so amazed that there is some good people that care.
I was real grateful. I was real grateful that my mom found another place to, well, she got a break from financial troubles,
I mean, and then not have to worry about just rent, right now, and I could just become a better mom. I can go to the schools more. I can just take more time with the kids. I mean, it's just small things where dental appointments I couldn't go to if I had to pay the rent and pay the light and, pay all these different bills.
That's really money for her to save up so we can be prepared to move to another place when we're ready after this year.
Just the house, the neighborhood, just the location. It's just a blessing. Well, when I had my daughter, I had to go on maternity leave. And so then when you get, disability, then it wasn't enough to pay the rent where I was staying. And then eventually when I went back to work, I was so behind, like 5 months, I had to stay out. So then it became under new ownership, and then they just wanted all their money in full, like right then and there. So there's no way that I could pay that. And so then I started looking. I went down to social service building, and then I was just seeing if I can get any kind of emergency help. But then I picked up a reference book, and then it just had resources. And then that's where I found Alexandria House, because it said housing for women and children. So I said, well, let me see what this is. And that's how I ended up going there.
And we hear this story quite a bit of times. There'll be a change in ownership and rent will go up, And people, the new owners, don't really know the families, not willing to work with them. And so she ended up being evicted.
No, honestly, yeah, I was surprised because I didn't even know what was going on. I didn't know you had a notice to leave or anything like that.
The day, or maybe the day before, or the 2 days before, she told us that we're going to be moving to this place for single women and their children. So we're like, okay, so we moved, and yeah, it was like that.
When I found out my mom was going to Alexandria House, I felt like when she was explaining the program to me, I felt like it was a good opportunity for her to, wait, stay there with, you don't have to worry about groceries and stuff like that. You can just stack your money up so you can be financially prepared to get a better house when.
Alexandria House's 3 things were, first of all, a transitional residence program for single women and women with children. We don't often have space, but we had space the day Felicia called and had her come in for an interview, and thus she came to Alexandria House.
Oh, living at Alexandria with my kids, it turned out to be a pleasant environment because it was other kids there. We had to share everything, sharing the bathrooms and, making sure the minimal noise on certain times, but just the home-like setting, going down and eating together, praying, together, meeting different women and different cultures, and just the kids enjoyed it. I was worried about that, but they were so happy just making friends, and we never had any arguments and complaints, and we were there almost a year.
My first impression on Alexandria House was that it was gonna be fun, because when I got there, I saw there was a basketball court, and then I saw the swings, so I thought it was gonna be very fun.
Everybody was so nice to me, so nice to the kids. It was just really a surprisingly pleasant environment. I know that Alexandria always wants to have that where you can feel like you're at home while you're transitioning into something better. So
it was really hard to have Felicia leave. She was an incredible contributor to the community sense here. We miss her, but this is just part of the work we do. It's really help people be able to move on with their lives and move eventually to permanent housing. This will enable Felicia to save more money, look for a place, have a little bit more time to find a place, and at the same time it opens up one of our larger rooms for another family.
At the Alexandria House, they're seeing that people do care, and then the transition for here with Tony, it's just made all the difference in the world. They see how people really can live, It was just an amazing thing for them.
Mother, Father God, thank you for the joy of this day, this occasion. Thank you for the food that nourishes our bodies. Thank you for each other. We nourish our minds and we nourish each other. Amen. Amen.
Some people and friends said, oh, you're crazy, or, what are you doing? Or, supposedly, people don't leave, and, what are you going to do then? You got to, get them evicted. And none of that came to mind. I mean, it's not, I don't have Bill Gates money. I don't have Warren Buffett money. I have a house that I can make available to someone else. And I have another house where I can live with my mother.
Frankly, he didn't even say. I mean, the way we found out was he said, can you help me come and, clean my house? I have a family moving in. And so I thought, oh, someone coming to share the house with them. Now that he had actually moved back here. So, the more I found out about it, the more just, I figured typical Tony, but still so very, very proud. But that's him.
When Tony told me that he was going to have a family move into his home and he was going to rent it to them for $1 a month, I said, have you lost your mind? And he said, no, that was something that he had thought about, and he would really like to do that and like to come and live here with me. And I said, that sounds wonderful to me. We haven't lived together for a while, but I know that it's going to be fine for both of us.
This is actually my second time. I started this last year with another family that moved in January 6th of 2012 and stayed here for about 11 months. Part of the impetus for me to do this has been how I was raised when I was a kid, growing up. My parents, my father in particular, but my parents, we always had people who lived with us, people outside of our immediate family. Could have been another relative or a client of my father's or a friend of a friend. And so I grew up, I guess, sort of with this philosophy that, we're all connected and we're all responsible for taking care of one another. It was interesting from the time that I can remember as a kid until I went off to college. There was no period of time more than a month or two where there wasn't some non-family member who, living with us.
My mom and I in the 80s made a list of all the people that had stayed with my parents from day one. And in the 80s, it was 52 people. So, yeah, it was a lot of people.
My husband was first a probation officer, and he gave and gave to young people. He was then an attorney. Jimmy gave in many ways. He gave to his clients, his whole self, everything that he knew about the law that involved them and their case. He was on top of it, and a lot of times he didn't charge if they didn't have money, and those were some times when we had some arguments.
I've heard Mom talk about how my father would always be very generous and have people staying with us, but I don't think he ever in a million years thought about giving up his house to anybody.
Sometimes we would give up our bedrooms for people, and we would stay on the couch. My brother never complained. I complained all the time.
The people that Jimmy brought home obviously didn't have their lives together. So that was his reasoning for doing that. They didn't have a place to stay the night, and the longest a person stayed with us was 2 years, and they just were incorporated into the family activities, and everybody had a job to do, including them, and. Tony thinks that the longer they stayed, the tougher the jobs that I gave them, but I don't remember that part of it.
For me, I can't really think of any better way to honor my father and honor my family and to be a good reflection and representation of my family than to do what I'm doing.
Yes, I'm hoping to be able to do something similar to what my uncle's done in the future. Not sure when, but hopefully something that has such a good impact on other people and also inspires other people to do good things for others.
Everyone can find something, hopefully start with something you already like and share that. And even if it's an hour a month, that's awesome. That's an hour a month that they wouldn't have.
Hopefully be in a position to inspire other people to do something similar, whether it's with a house or with a skill or a talent.
A typical Monday is waking up at 5 because the kids go to 3 different schools, and then I head to work, so it's a lot of driving, but it's just like any other mom, you do what you have to do because you love your kids.
Big one or small?
Thank you. You're so evil, Kiva.
Don't knock over my coffee.
Like, after we wake up, it's we get dressed and we eat. And then, like, sometimes, like, my mom's in the shower, and then sometimes if Raylan's still asleep, because we have to wake her up at 6:30, like, exactly at 6:30, and if we don't, then it's like, I might be a little bit late, because we have to leave at 7 o'clock.
So you don't have a permanent part in your head. Thank you. I think we're all done. Let's see. Let me see. You ready for school? Can I get a smooch? A big fan. Thank you. You got to work right out. You knocked out.
You didn't use a logo like that, man. That's the end of it.
It's the truth, right?
No, those are mine, actually. He has his own.
I need the air, I can't even think.
Sometimes grabbing what we can get if either one of us wake up late, we're rushing out.
Oh.
Let me see the key.
I just try to make the most of it. You know, we'll have our songs on in the car. We'll just talk to each other, tell jokes and stuff like that on the way to school.
Johnny Gomes was not supposed to be in the Boston Red Sox starting lineup for Game 4 of the World Series last night, but the injury to Shane Victorino allowed him to enter into that series.
Oh man, we should have took the trash cans out.
But may have to go to rehab after
We
the
were
series is
up
over. Series
to.
will-
They're
Something
not
almost
gonna come
every
till 8.
pregnant woman goes
Totally
through.
forgot.
You can tell
Somebody touching her belly. There'll be no more.
Naya would get dropped off first, and then my mom would take me to my school. Then she would go to work or either drop off Raylan.
This really gets a little overcast. If you go to church on the regular, you got that one usher that just really do.
Then I would go to work. But since my work hours are a little bit longer than Alexandria House, I would have to come back home, give the car to Kima so he can drop me back off at work so he can pick up Raylan. And that's why he's just been a great help with picking her up, because then I would have to try to find a different school.
I assist my mom with like taking my brothers and sisters to school in the morning and taking her to work, picking everybody up once the day is over. Being with my dad gave me a lot of wisdom, and being with my dad, I was around my grandfather a lot. The advice from my dad and grandfather really helped me become the man in the house in the situation we're in right now, with being a helper in the house and also being a financial provider as well. I was formerly a security guard at a grocery store, and then I got hired at LAX as a cashier. I just try to help any way I can. She doesn't ask me to do a lot because, you know, she's a mom. She's like, I got it. But whenever she does need help, I'm always willing to.
And it's been wonderful just having my older son back home with us. I mean, we can eat meals together. Tell Mari where his spot is.
Where his spot is? Right here. Right there. Put your food
Hey,
in.
Mari, you ready to eat?
Thank you, Lord, for this food. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
See, that was fast. Now you can eat.
Here's your napkin. It's really important to have dinner just with me and my kids because it's an intimate time. It's personal. You want to connect. You know, we sometimes talk about what happened at school or just what's going on, the latest dances, you know, whatever comes to mind. But I really enjoy that time because it's like we run around, but at dinner you stop. You know, you stop and find out what's going on with your kids instead of guessing. Just ask them. Amari, did you finish studying yet?
No.
You gonna do that later?
Mm-hmm.
Don't eat the bone.
I know you did one. I know you did one. What one?
Me? Oh. Don't cheat.
The kids are adjusting well. Kima's gets to hang out with Amari a lot now. You know, just brothers hanging out.
With my brother AJ, we just play basketball, football all day, and then come in the house and play the video game basketball and football all day.
The best part of having Kima around is that there's someone I can like talk to, and then I'm not the only boy in the house. Some things I could do with Kima that I can't do with Naya is like when we play outside in the backyard, when we play basketball, or when we're playing the video game in the room. Sometimes I might do it with Naya, but it's not like as often as I would do it with Kima.
Amari gets to watch his brother and just learn how to become a man and grow up.
It's real fun with him all the time because I'm just watching him grow, and like as for how young he is to be where he at, like athletically, he's gonna be a freak of nature when he gets older.
It's easy to just do those two and then you're done.
It's not that
easy. You're done.
This is my first time ever having my own room, and I love playing outside, and I love how in my room I could do my nails and stuff.
Naya can hang out with Raylan. I know Raylan watches her do her nails and stuff like that.
Oh no. Dos.
No, but nice.
Tres. Cuatro. Cinco. Seis. Ocho. Nueve. Mari! Come over here. Wee. Slide on your butt. Let's slide on your butt. Let's slide on your butt. Let's slide on your butt.
Raylan, she loves the house. She just loves running around. She loves running in the backyard. She's so excited with the toys.
Raylan, she's hilarious. She's in a 3-year-old body, but she thinks she's my age, and I'll be like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with her. I have a lot of fun with Raylan, and just watching her grow.
She loves all of Kima, Mari, and Naya. She bothers them every chance she gets. She's just learning a lot from them too.
Raylan looks up to me in the way like she wants to do everything that I'm doing. At first I was gone. She didn't really know me. She just seen me from time to time. Now that I'm here and I'm around her often, she's like, oh yeah, this is my guy right here. Raylan wants to be with me all the time. Now we're extra close. She listens to me more than she listens to everybody else in the house.
Including your mom?
You didn't hear from me. Naya, when I wake up in the morning, I think, how can I mess up Naya's day the best? And that's what we do here. Me and Naya torment each other back and forth. You missed the spot.
Are you really? Wow. Thanks a lot.
If I'm not messing with her, she's messing with me. If she's not messing with me, I'm always messing with her. It's back and forth.
Are you?
No.
As far as public reaction, I think that all of us were surprised at how viral it went.
Honestly, I'm trying to be with the public. I haven't seen none of our clips or anything. I'm trying to catch up.
So from when this story broke initially in December, when the LA Times ran a piece through Sandy Banks, the columnist, and then when CBS This Morning picked it up in the beginning of the year, 2013, it's just been mind-blowing in terms of the number of people who've come out of the woodworks from literally all over the world.
So I was very surprised that like random people that I wouldn't even think would know about it knows about what's been going on with me, and they were like, you didn't even act like anything was going on with you when we knew you. Like, it was none of your business.
With the LA Times and with the CBS, they were just in shock. I got a lot of mixed feelings because some people were really upset with me because they say, hey, why wouldn't you tell me what's going on? But I didn't feel like it was an announcement, you know, things just happen. You know, when you get a 3-day notice to leave, you're not thinking like, let me make an announcement. You're like, hey, I got to figure out something. But it did open up a floodgate of love, though. I seen a lot of people that were concerned and they wanted to help and they wanted to do whatever they could. So sometimes it's good to be open. You know, I can get that out of it. But
it's very, very positive as far as the responses, and you know, a couple of the stories that he shared were quite interesting. He got a couple of marriage proposals from it, and but for the most part, people were just, you know, very overwhelmingly supportive.
I thought that maybe a few people would find it interesting and might contact me, but I've probably been reached out to by 700 people or so from all over Africa, Europe, you know, Asia, all over the United States, old people, young people, students, retirees. Yeah, it's been really very phenomenal.
Well, I was super happy that he allowed himself to be interviewed because he's very humble, very not interested in getting the spotlight on himself.
I had a few friends come up to me and they told me that they heard about my uncle giving up his house because it was in the newspaper. And they said they thought it was a really nice example of human kindness and someone giving up what they had and giving it to someone who needed more, because that's something that we're all capable of doing as people. And I think it's something that should be exercised more in life.
People who found me, you know, my email address at my job, and email me just really uplifting and encouraging notes, very supportive about how they were glad to hear about the story, to read about it, talked about how it made them think about things that they might be able to do in their own lives, actions that they could take. I just want you to know that this is a very moving article. I packed up 4 boxes of shoes, very good shoes, and personally took them to a women's center in hopes that this would help someone. I'm writing you in tears after reading the article on your act of kindness. Thank you for perpetuating love and charity in a world that seems to be increasingly cold and uncaring. You are a true hero. My kids showed me a notice in a newspaper here in Sweden about you. I just wanted to say that it was a nice thing you did. To me, the most astounding part of your act is that you are taking a risk, a chance, to help someone in a truly meaningful way, to assist a family in obtaining the most basic primary need, a safe home. My fiance would like to take in victims of sex trafficking when we are married and have a home. Your story provides further inspiration to make that happen. Thanks.
The thing that I was most glad for was I knew that his story could inspire others. Maybe not to do something as dramatically generous, but to do something smaller, to just start thinking about generosity.
My name is Orlando Bishop, and I'm a personal performance coach. I'm actually the founder of Align Performance. Where I first connected with Felicia is that I know Tony, and so the video started to go around about what he had done, the news, the clip from the news, and I was truly blown away. Just the level of generosity, who he was being, it just really spoke to me. And so I reached out to him just to say how impressed I was. And so I got to thinking about that, and I was like, well, I work with people all the time and help them work on their strategies and figure out what they're going to do next. So why don't I do that here? And I got back in touch with Tony and said, let her know that if she's interested, I will coach her for the balance of the year for free. Like, just because it's important to me that she be able to take advantage of this opportunity. And so thankfully she said yes, and we've been working together.
I think that the reason people kept calling Tony after those interviews, excuse me, was because people wanna do good things, and when they hear about somebody doing it, then that gives them the strength to do something themselves.
Ruben, the miracle man. I had no idea of this surprise. I had to get a lot of teeth extracted. So Ruben was able to replace them for me, and that's really expensive to do. So that's why I was hoping for a deal or like maybe a payment plan or something that was nice, but not free. Not free at all. I believe he found out about the story, or maybe he's seen it. I'm not quite sure, but he just was very kind in just offering this.
The fact that so many people have reached out, lets me know. It just confirms that most of us want to do something that goes beyond ourselves for somebody or some cause, and so I think that's probably been the thing that's most impacted me, and the thing that's most changed me, and realize that it's not about any one of us individually, but about us collectively.
Felicia happens to be an employee of the company I work for. I see her every day in her job capacity, and we have become friends over I would say a little over 2 years that I have known her. I took an interest in knowing, of her struggles, and I have a real heart for women particularly, especially in today's time and age of life just being stressful. So she kind of touched my heart with her personal needs and her story.
The surprising Donna, she is a coworker, and she invited me to a women's spiritual retreat, and it was life-changing. Just the incredible woman that was there. It really was life-changing. I'm not even sure why she invited me, but she did, and I enjoyed it so much.
The women's retreat was held at the Rancho Las Palmas Resort in Rancho Mirage, California. It is a 5-star re-renovated resort, and it was an environment that most of these women could never get to because of finances, time. There's not too many times where women will just take off, leave their families, their housework, their regular duties, just to pamper themselves and to enjoy other women, fellowship, rest and renewal.
At the women's retreat, we had great rooms. I was able to take one of my best friends with me, and we both were on the same page. We were trying to get more connected spiritually, and we wanted to relax.
My total contract was about $12,000. I offered 6 places for women of deployed servicemen to come to the retreat free of charge. Also, knowing personally women like Felicia and other women in our workplace, my husband and I decided that we would gift the opportunity as an offering to God to bless these women. And we did this out of our personal savings, and we've never regretted it. And I have always been very blessed in my life and got more out of doing this for other women than what it ever cost, and I would do it again.
So I work at UCLA Law School for 13 years, and I am part of the admissions and outreach team.
I have known Tony since he interviewed at UCLA, so I think that was 13 years ago. And we became fast friends and colleagues and have enjoyed working with him ever since. He's very funny, he's got a wicked sense of humor. Students absolutely love him, understandably, because he's so genuine, he's caring, but also very real. He will always tell it like it is, but in a way that would never hurt somebody's feelings.
And also not knowing how to tell people around them, like, no until they have
Right.
10, 12, 15, 20 people on the payroll and stuff like that. Yeah. I like it. I like working with young people. I really thrive off of their ambition, their hope, their promise. Most of the students that I work with view a law degree in the law as a way to impact social change and to make the world better for more people. And so I'm thrilled to have some small part in that. Okay, you let me know what day and what time is good for you. That works. One of the student groups there, the Black Law Student Association, BALSA is what the acronym. They gave me their community service award this past year, and it was very touching. A couple of the students did a little spoken word piece set to music, which is kind of funny and tongue in cheek, but put together a really nice, touching video. Several of the students commented about how they appreciated the help I provided them, some of the counseling, and this project with Alexandria House and Felicia. I had practiced law for 14 years, and I've been at UCLA for 13 years. But I told the students that of all of any professional achievements I've achieved, that top the list. So I was really happy to get that.
Tony does. I mean, he does not do anything for the attention. It is just about, this is how I am, and this is the manifestation of who I am.
There's an organization called For People of Color, which was started by a friend of mine who graduated from UCLA Law School, and he's put together a guide and an organization to help underrepresented students of color navigate the path to law school and beyond. And they honored me with their community service award as well.
It's that gesture that we can all see, that just one small thing, or in this case a really large thing, but it makes a big difference in somebody's life, and it's really inspiring to other people.
I decided to do it. I read an article about a family in Atlanta a couple of years ago. I read an article in Parade magazine. They sold their home. Apparently they had a very large home. They sold it and they donated the proceeds to different organizations. And it was to the tune of about $800,000. And I read that and it blew me away. I was just really just awestruck at what a powerful gesture that was. I was super inspired and jazzed reading your story. I've told friends and family wherever I go, I said, they asked me, like, why did you decide to give away your house? And I said, you know what, it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't read about you. If I hadn't read this silly Parade magazine. Who reads Parade magazine? If I hadn't read Parade magazine, We decided to sell our home in the wake of an incident that happened back in the fall of 2006. I was driving our daughter Hannah home from a sleepover. She was 14 at the time, and we pull up to a stoplight about a mile from the house. And she looks to her left, and there is a typical scene of a homeless man sitting against a chain link fence. Pulling up on her right-hand side is a man driving a beautiful black Mercedes-Benz. And she says, you know, Dad, if that man didn't have such a nice car, that guy over there could have a meal. We drive the mile to our house, and it's clear that my bleeding heart 14-year-old daughter is not done. And she comes to the table. She wants to tell them the story about the Mercedes and the homeless man. And Joan decides at that moment to push back and see what's Hannah willing to sacrifice, you know? And she says, if this bothers you so much, what are you willing to give up for it? You know, you want to give up your room? You want to give up this house? And Hannah's face brightens. And I thought, oh no, I'm in real trouble here. And so that's what we decided to do. We decided to, you know, sell our big, beautiful house, move into one half the size, and use half the money to try to make the world better. Somebody sent me the story about you. Yeah. And, you know, said, it looks like something good happened from your project.
Yeah.
And I just looked at it and I thought, oh, this is really cool. Look at this.
So with the money that we harvested from the sale of the home, we decided to give it to the Hunger Project, which is based in New York, and it works with villagers in Ghana and elsewhere who are trying to mobilize and empower themselves to build themselves out of poverty. So we partnered with them. We've been to Ghana 3 times to visit the group of villagers who are really inspiring. We're proud to be partners with them because they are taking some really important steps to interface with their government and with their neighbors and even within their families in ways that are new and transformative. I'm just really excited hearing that because when we first decided to share our story with other people, we knew that there'd be somebody who would kind of grab on and say, I want to be a part of that kind of feeling. I want to do that. I've got something I need to offer. And I never thought I'd meet that person, but here he is. And it's just really exciting to hear it.
It really served as a just call to action for me to say, wow, okay, you know, here's some people that are doing some big stuff. You know, what are you doing? You know, Tony. And I think it's so easy to get caught up in the whole, what do you have? What do you know, judging your self-worth by the stuff that's in your life. You can't, it's not a game you can win, for one thing. Somebody else is always going to have some more stuff than you do, you know. So we just had the really lucky moment where we could start to become not about the stuff we had, but about the things that we were sharing, and with each other and with the world.
We can't end this without telling you how much we admire you. You know, to leave your home and leave it to others is something I'm not sure we would do.
To us, it's so flattering that someone would read our story and say, I'm going to take it in my own direction to do something that's really life-changing for a family or 2 families or 3 families. And, you know, that's cool.
I think the most important thing about giving is realizing that everyone has extra resources. And if you really get in touch with what resources you have, whether it's time or talent or patience or any other virtue in addition to treasure, there's a spot where you can be meaningful.
Mom, what you doing?
Oh, checking bills.
Okay. I could have my job.
Oh, you better do your job. Do I have any mail?
Yeah.
Can you get it for me?
Uh-huh.
Can I get a lot of stuff? Thank you.
There's a lot of bills to do.
over the past few months, it's been great. I really don't even want to leave because I'm enjoying it so much. But I know I have to. But we've just enjoyed the home so much. I'm still excited and grateful for everything every time I wake up. Nothing against Alexandria, but just enjoying the bathroom itself, and not sharing it. It's been wonderful. Oh, and just the luxury of having the washer and dryer right in the home, because with 4 kids, it's a lot of clothes to wash.
Living here has been awesome because I have my own room. The worst part about having my own room is that sometimes it can get lonely because I'm used to having someone in the room to play with or mess with. Having your own room is like you're the only child because there's no one in the room. The only thing you really have is your stuff and the TV. So, but there's nothing really you can relate to, talk to, because you can't talk to the TV because it's just not normal.
I think the best part of living here is that we have a lot of, we have freedom, and we get to do things like play board games or spend quality time with each other.
Being in a home, that was $1 a month, but also it comes along with the other bills, the gas bill and the light bill, and, when I was at Alexandria House, I didn't have to pay those things. Just those bills and the car note, accumulated a lot more money going out instead of a lot more money coming in. And, my job didn't change. Just as a result of that, the car note became really high because, of course, I'm going to put that off and make sure the lights and the gas are on before that. So with that, eventually I just kind of let it go.
So, how'd things go with getting the car? I mean, we laid that all out. How did it go executing on it?
Oh, it was really nice getting the car. I talked with the agent before I went, and we set up everything. I said, only show me the cars with this exact price. Don't show me anything else.
Right.
Orlando, man, saving my life mentally because he's a performance coach. He's awesome. He just helps you align the things and goals in your life that you're trying to accomplish. And sometimes you need that. You just need that person to sit with you and say, hey, what are we working on? What are we doing?
She's talking about the car. We were very clear about the car. We talked about details of what it needed to be. It's not only to find what you want, but to be able to identify when you see something and it's not it. You don't waste that time going in there, driving the wrong car, you know what I mean? She doesn't need to be in some big gas guzzler. We're trying to figure out how to do this economically. Somebody else might need big space. So there's nothing good or bad about that car. It's just, is it the right car for you?
Well, I mean, I felt confident when I went in there because I knew exactly what I wanted and I wasn't going to compromise because, just trying to set up the goals that I have.
Sure.
I can't compromise.
Right. And so by taking her through that process consistently, what do you want? Why do you want it? What's the emotional experience you want to have? And then having her connect to who she is when she's at her best. Did you feel like you were able to use the who pieces specifically, open and goofy and consistent and all that as part of that process?
Yeah.
In terms of characteristics?
I know, I'm just saying. Yeah, I had to be consistent on what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was helpful. I didn't even think about that because he had a couple of questions about other things, so kind of helped him out, where I work at. And I was goofy, and yeah, I think I used all of them that day.
Nice, nice. See, I mean, and then it's just you being you, so you get right through it and right to it. That's nice. And that's some of what we were talking about during the session, when she's open and goofy and she's confident. And those sometimes those terms could sound silly from the outside in. I mean, goofy, really. You know, but for her having that energy, that happiness to her, it really helps her to relax. And when she's relaxed, you know, they've done all sorts of studies when we're in positive emotional states, it improves cognitive function and all this kind of stuff. But in English, it just means that when you feel good, you do well. And she's feeling good and she's doing well. And I'm really happy to see that for her.
It's been a great balance for me because, I mean, just telling you the schedule earlier and running around and with the kids and, you know, doing all these things, sometimes you just need to talk to a person. They're not trying to gain anything from you. They just really are on your team and just there to help you. So
I hope Felicia feels that, well, Orlando's got my back. If nothing else, you know, he'll sit, he'll talk. If the session goes a half hour over, then it goes a half hour over if that's what needs to happen on that day. But he's got my back and he wants the best for me. She could hit the lottery tomorrow, I don't care. I would coach her on the house forever.
Yeah, you know, since Felicia and her family moved into my home in December, I think it's gone well from what I can tell. It seems like the family's really enjoying it, and kids are happy and getting a chance to be kids and have their own space to play. Whenever I stop by to fix something or check in on them, the kids are playing in the backyard, playing ball or goofing around and stuff. So it seems like they're enjoying themselves very well.
I call that stop sign. So how you guys feeling? Like their new spot. Cool. That's it. Yeah.
the preparations I'm taking, just looking for a place. You know, I've been saving money, so I'm just looking. Rent is pretty high, you know, for the amount of space that I need.
We've talked about details about where she needs to live, what kind of space it needs to be. And okay, so now what does that look like in terms of the finances that need to be in place? And so I think working from there, again, that real place of like, what do you want for your kids? What do you want for yourself? What do you want your life to look like? All of a sudden, saving money feels different.
I know this time is ticking, and it's, you know, sometimes you gotta just take what you can get at this point. And I want to keep the kids together. That's my main goal. So if I have to still drive, here's the spot, one of the spots.
I have to feel confident about moving. I have to, because all the miracles that has already happened, why would it end in disaster? You know, not finding it. So I know something's out there. So I just have to keep going.
My hope for the year's end would be to be out and stable. I don't really know like how to explain, but yeah, I want us to be on our feet basically and ready to move forward with their new life in our new home.
Talking to Felicia, recently, she said one of the things that she feels good about is being in a position through some of the work she's done this year to make better life decisions, to help provide for a more stable, living situation for her family. And so, yeah, that to me, that sounds like all good, good stuff.
You want this one? Nah. And then you put it on back.
That would not be funny.
That would not.
That would be cute.
You know, every mother wants to become a better mother. So just with this house, I was able to do so much much stuff with the kids.
I feel that by her living here for the year that they've came a long way, and they have seen the finer things in life, and that she's struggling more and more to get education and get housing for her and her children, because she wants a better life for them.
Actually, strategies that I'm gonna use for 2014 is using the 1 year. Like, since I was here for 1 year, I'm trying to pay off bills and different things for 1 year. Car notes or just light gas bill, just certain bills that I'm able to do that with. I want to do it so I won't have to worry about it, like check to check.
I feel that the year here has been very fun. I've had some really comical moments with my family. They're hilarious to me.
I wanted to say thank you to Tony for letting us live here for a year with no rent.
Same here.
$1. It's $1.
Same here. I'm grateful for Tony to lend his house to us.
Exactly. We're almost strangers to him because he doesn't know us.
Thank you to Tony so much. He just even donating and just helping my family during this time, it just changed our lives completely. It's an experience that it just can't be replaced.
My husband, I know, joked around with him and asking him how his dates, when he had to tell his dates that he lived with his mom.
Cramp my dating life a little bit, but that's all right, right? Got to be a finesse and work around that.
He as a person, that sense of, I'm going to be kind and go about life, having a good time, and including as many people as possible, started at a young age. So it was pretty friendly, except for the times he got on my nerves. It's easy to grow up with him. But yeah, he was a good kid from the get-go. Mainly because I taught him to be.
I have a lot of friends who feel that, and people I've spoken to about this story of Tony's, feel that it's beyond their capability. And maybe something as huge as what he has done is, but he has had a lifetime of working up to this. So I think that it's in all of us. Each of us has the ability to start wherever we are and do what we can and watch that grow.
If the story has served as an example of what might be possible for others, irrespective of what they have, where they are, then that's a really good thing, and I'm glad that I've had a chance to be involved in that.
Whatever comes to your mind that you have, that you can do for somebody else, do it. It's reaching out and not closing our arms unless we're giving them a hug.
And if every person every day did one act to bless someone, the world would just be a better place.